and welcome to a 3-string Christmas special, and we are looking at fantastic Merry Xmas (parentheses the war is over) from John Lennon from 1971, and great song, works nicely on 3 strings, and we're going to be looking at this in a couple of different tunings because I'm actually in D, G, B, which works really nicely for this tuning, so it allows me to put some of the sort of varied chord tones in there, which works, is particularly characteristic of the song. But I appreciate that not so many people are tuned to this. So this is the Keith tuning that I was in from a few months ago. So I'm going to be doing an easy version, which is just in GDG, and this is in fact the original keys. So once you've learnt this in either tuning, you can play along with the original recording, which is actually not that fast. And so hopefully you can play along with John himself and have a great time. And there's also a free song chart available, so you can download that one. It's actually a very simple structure. It's a relatively long chord sequence, but once you've learnt that chord sequence, then it just repeats and repeats and repeats for the entire song, so that's pretty good. So download that, and when you are ready, I think we'll probably start with the easy version first and then get onto the full version which you heard in the demo. So on with the easy version. This is G, D, G tuning, and like I said, this is going to be in the same key as the original, so even though it's relatively easy to play on 3-string, it still fits perfectly with the song. So hopefully when you've learnt it, you can jam along with John and the rest of the band and have a great time. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a lot of finger barring up and down the fret for different chords, the neck rather, and GDG is a power chord tuning, so that means it's a neutral tuning. In the original, there's a lot of sort of pronounced major and minor chords, but we can actually just use a finger bar for all of them, major and minor, so this is why it's the easy version. So we are starting off in the key of A, which is it's an A chord at fret 2, so that is a finger bar. So not very festive, but I shall put a link to Sunshine You Love because it's particularly good for beginners, explaining about bar chords and also about strumming and whatnot. So basically you've got to clamp onto the side of your first finger, your index finger, to keep it straight. That's where the pressure comes from. So the thumb's got to be right around the back of the neck. The wrist has got to be doing a bit of that. So as long as you can get that wrist position, you should be fine. So we are going to do the first 4 chords, and then we're just going to have a little look at the strumming, which basically stays the same throughout. So we've got A, which is fret 2, and then it steps up to fret 4, which is B. Now both of these have got the root note on the low G, so it's G, A, B. This is actually a B minor, but we can do the power chord version, works perfectly. Right up to fret 9, which is E. So that's also an E note there, the root note on the G string, and then back to A. So we've got fret 2's A, fret 4's B, E's fret 9, and back to A. Now you can see that, hopefully you can see that when I'm moving up and down, I'm retaining this exact position. Don't leave your thumb trailing, otherwise you get into all sorts of fun and games. Okay, so practice that. Once you've got that down, this is the rhythm we're going to do. Now it's a slightly different rhythm to normal. It's a 6/8 rhythm, so if you ever had to go at the House of the Rising Sun, which we looked at a while back, that is the same timing, and it's a triplet rhythm. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I think something like so that was just downstrokes, and because it's a relatively slow song, we can easily fit in some upstrokes as well. So we can go 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3. Now you can like freestyle that and you know, put extra upstrokes in, vary it and what have you, but I'm just going to keep it dead simple with that rhythm. So it's basically the second downstroke's got an up after it, so it's down, down, up, down. That's it. So and then you do that twice and then you get a bar. So it would be down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. There is also, from a while back, a beginner video on strumming, 20th Century Boy. I'll put a link to that as well, but basically nice loose wrist. Don't do all of the movement from your elbow, like flick your wrist a bit as well. So one bar is down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. We're going to do that twice for each of these chords, all right? So here we go, I'll count you in, so, and go, down, second bar, and then fret 4, there's the next bar of the B, fret 9, here's the second bar of the E, and then back to A. Now that's about the first quarter of it, I think. So I would just make sure you can get those changes, because there's going to be a lot of jumping around. So as long as you can change between them and sort of keep the rhythm going, then all good. Don't forget to relax the pressure. So when you move up, relax, and then it makes it much smoother. So quick view of the chords from this angle. So thumb around the back and finger like that, and then move up to fret 4, that was fret 2, obviously. Fret 4, that's your B. Fret 9 is your E, and back to fret 2 for A with the rhythm. Now once you've practiced that, we're just doing this in little chunks. So that was the start of the verse. So the second half of the verse, it goes up to fret 7 this time. So that's a D. So all of these straight bar shapes clamping across all three strings have the root note on the low G. So fret 7's a D, sorry. And then we're going straight from there to E, but this time when we go on to the other tuning, this would actually be an E minor. So that is fret 9, but because we're doing a power chords, we can use the same one. So we're just going back up to fret 9 with the finger 1 bar, and then we're going down to A, fret 2, and then we're going back up to fret 7, D. So the second half of the verse is still just loads of barring, but fret 7 for D, fret 9 for E, fret 2 for A, and then back to fret 7 for D, and then that's going to take us into the chorus after that. So not too tricky hopefully, but hopefully you can also see that it's quite a long-winded chord sequence, so that's why you want to download that chart. But I'm going to play through all of that verse. 4, 5, 6. So second bar of A, relax, then fret 4 for B, then two bars of E, and then back to A. So two bars for each of these, and then the second half, fret 7, so 2 bars here, and then this time back up to E, but still the same shape, it doesn't matter that it's a minor, and then we go to A, and then finish back on D. and then we're into the chorus. So that's a G. So just play the open strings, perfect. And then go back to A. And then this time go to E minor. So we could just go up here and play fret 9. So if any of these open shapes are difficult, we can use the bars, but we'll have a crack at this one. So it's fret 2 on the middle string, fret 4 on the bass string, open, high G. That is E minor, and then go straight to G. So we'll just use the open power chord, and then finish off. We've got D, then E. So you could either go 7 to 9. That would be the easy version, probably, because you've just been doing a load of barring. But if you wanted to do something slightly different for a bit of contrast, you could do a D down here. So that is fret 2, open, middle D string, fret 2 on the top one. Okay, you just got to watch with these ones that you don't catch the strings underneath, so you need a bit more bridging than maybe you might be used to. And then finally the E down here would be like that. So that's fret 2 on the middle string, fret 4, fret 4. So here's the chorus chords. Start on G, just the open strings, perfect. And then A is fret 2, just a bar across again. And then we're going for the E minor, so open, high G, fret 2, fret 4 on the bass, and try and make sure you bridge him. So that's E minor, back to G. This time, let's try a D down here, so fret 2, open, middle, and then finally, if you can play that one, we'll go for the E down here, which is fret 2, fret 4, fret 4. So these two are power chords as well, but this time for this D shape here, the root note's actually on the middle string, so that's a D note, and then that's an E note, and so that's an E power chord. But again, if they are difficult, you can play D at fret 7, E at fret 9, and it would still fit perfectly with the original recording. So let's try that with the strumming. So most of these we've still got 2 bars for each one, so 4, 5, 6. So we've got 2 bars on the G, this is the start of the chorus, and then we go to A, and then we go to E minor, but we only do that for 1 bar, so then we change to G for 1 bar, and then we change to D for 1 bar, and then E for 1 bar, and then we're back to the A again, and you just start the whole cycle again. And if you're finding that clamping, barring for so long is fatiguing your hand, you could use 3 fingers like that on all of these, what I was previously saying with bar chords, you know, so experiment, see what works for you. So like I said, that all fits perfectly with the song. You can just keep going round and round that. But if you wanted to add any of the sort of vocal line into how we play the chorus, you could start with G and then go open top string, 2, 4, all on the high G, go to an A, and then still on the top string, play fret 2, take the chord off, open, high G, go to fret 4 on the middle string, go to an E minor. So we've got 4, 5, 6, strum. We're basically doing 3 triplet strums, and then the last triplet is the open, 2, 4, and then same on the A. 3 triplet strums is the last one, and then I'm going to play fret 2 on the top string, open, fret 4 on the middle string, and then I'm going to E minor. I've only got space to do one triplet strum there. So if we can do this E minor, we can do one triplet strum and then we can play fret 2, which I'm already fretting, play the open, and I'm already fretting fret 4, and then go to G, and then play that same riff off the G, 2, open, 4, and then go to D for 1 bar, so 2 triplet strums there. So here's the chorus. So we got 4, 5, 6, first triplet, second triplet, third triplet, and then there's the riff, A, second triplet, third triplet, fret 2, open, fret 4, and then go to E minor, fret 2, fret 4, do 1 triplet there, and then play middle, fret 2, open D, fret 4, which we've already got from the E minor, go to G for 1 triplet strum, do that same riff again, and then 2, open, 4, let's go for a D like that, and then finish on E, and then you're off again. Alright, on to stage 2. So swap guitars, we are now in D, G, B, tuning. So that is now a major chord and not a power chord, and that's quite important because we can now play major and minor chords quite easily. So we're on the same positions as that easy version, same fret positions. So we're starting at fret 2, so there's our A, but it actually sounds like a major chord as opposed to a power chord. And I'll go over the extra little chord tones, they're called the suspended notes, in a moment. But when we move up to fret 4, instead of doing a B like that, we're going to do a B minor. So this actually needs to go down a fret. So that's major, but we want minor. So this first finger is at fret 3 of the high B string, and we're at fret 4 on the D and the G. Now if you've ever played regular 6 string, that's basically the same shape as an A minor. Back here. So A up to B minor, and then right up to fret 9, so that's an E major, so back to the bar, and then back to the bar at fret 2, so that's an A. So we've got A, B minor, E, and back to A. In case you've jumped straight here and missed out the first bit, the time signature is 6/8, so that means we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. That's the particular rhythm we are doing here. And for the second half of the verse, we're going straight up to fret 7 D, fret 7's D, and that's a major chord. But the next one is back to E, but we actually want a minor this time. So I'm using that same shape as down here, but this time it's on frets 8 and 9. And then from there, I'm dropping it down to fret 2, which is an A, and then back to the D. So the second half of the verse is D, E minor, A, and back up to D. So onto the chorus, we've got G, just play the open, so that's now a G chord, not a power chord. There's your A, so 2 bars for each of those, and then this time the E minor is actually easier than the previous one. We've just got 1 finger at fret 2, and then we play that for one measure or one bar, and then go back to G. And this time the D and the E down here are going to be slightly different because obviously we've got different tuning. This is more like strings 4, 3, 2 on a regular 6 string, whereas the previous one's more like strings 5, 4, 3. So the D shape is now like that. So it's fret 3 on the high B string and fret 2 on the middle G string. So that's a D, and you can play that open D note. And then going up to the E, we can play, so that's use fingers 1 and 2, 1 and 3, but here we probably want to use fingers 1, 3 and 4 for this E. So that would be fret 2, that would be fret 4, and that would be fret 5. So that's actually a D power chord, that's actually an E power chord. If they're difficult, particularly that one, if that's a bit horrible, you can just play your D back up here and your E back up here, fret 7, fret 9 to finish off the chorus. So the chorus is 4, 5, 6. So you start off doing same strumming, isn't it, all the way through 2 bars, and then A, 2 bars there. Now I'm going to go to the E minor in a minute, and it's dead easy because it's just one finger. Just make sure you bridge him round. Just do that for a bar though, and then just do your G for a bar, and then here's your D down here, it's D power chord, and then here's your E power chord. Or say if I just go from the final G, and then I could go to D up here. Still sounds absolutely fine, it fits perfectly with the song. It's just for a bit of variation, playing the D and the E lower down at the end. And if you wanted to put the little riffy bits in the chorus, we're now, instead of playing on string 1, we're actually going to be on, this is a G, this one, so this is the same as string 1 in the previous tuning. So we're going to play open, middle string, and then fret 2, fret 4, and then we're going to go to A, and then we're going to play middle string, fret 2, and then we're going to play open, middle G. I'm going to go to fret 4 of this low D string, and then I'm going to go to E minor. And then, to be honest, actually the other one works better for a sort of full sort of vocal line on this bit, but so we're gonna have to freestyle it a little bit. So off the E minor, I'm just playing 2, open, 2, and then back to G, and then we're actually going to jump up an octave higher, which is to fret 5, not fret 4, don't do that, and then 3, open. I'm going to do that in 2 halves. So from the G, so if you remember, we've got 3 triplets because we've got 1.5 bars. There's the second one, 3rd triplet, and then we've got the riff, which is on the middle string, open 2, 4, and then A. Again, 3 triplets because we've got 1.5 bars of strumming, and then play the middle string 2, which is in the bar, open, 4 into E minor, just do 1 triplet strum there, 2, open, 2 on the bass string, G, just 1 triplet there, and let's go high for the end of the melody because we've run out of strings going this way. So 5, 3, open, D. That wasn't in 2 halves, that was all the way through, so I better play all of that one more time. So we've got G, is the 3rd triplet, and then middle string 2, 4, A, and then middle string 2, open, 4, E minor, just 1 triplet here, let's go to open, 2, G, just 1 triplet strum, 5, 3, open, D, and then E. And obviously for these last two D and E chords, you can substitute and go up there instead, and it will still sound pretty good. Okay, finally here is level 3. So what we're doing is we are changing mostly the notes on string 1 to give us, that's an A. We take this third finger off and we try not to catch the top string so we can hear the open B. That's an A sus 2, it's a suspended chord. And if we went to fret 3 on the high B, string 1, with that, you can use your third finger. I'm going to use my little finger for most of these ones where I step up. So that's an A sus 4, so fret 2, fret 2, fret 3. Okay, and so what we're doing is starting on the A, take that off, that's an A sus 2, add this in, that's an A sus 4, and then go back to the A, and we can just use the same rhythm. And so that's basically 2 bars. That's the reason why he's on each chord for quite a long time, because he's fitting in those variations. So that's the A. Then we go to the B minor. So that's fret 3, fret 4, fret 4. This time what we're going to do is we're going to step backwards from fret 3 to fret 2. That's, so you can go suspended sus 2, sus 4 from a major or a minor chord. So this is a B minor, but then this is now a B sus 2. And then I won't keep this here, I'll add my little finger in at fret number 5, that's a B sus 4, and then back to fret 3. And again, 1 triplet strum for each of those versions of B minor, so it's so for some of these chord shapes, you might need to keep your thumb a little bit further around the back, a little bit like you do in a bar, because it'll help you with your bridging and also your general flexibility, hopefully. And then we're going up to E. I'm going to use, so instead of barring, I'm definitely using 3 fingers now, but I'm actually going to start with fingers 2, 3 and 4, because most of the time it starts on the regular chord, but there's a couple of places where it starts on the sus 4, so we can actually play frets 9, 9 and 10, so little finger 1 step higher, and then tuck it back in for the E, and then keep your first finger for fret 7, that's the sus 2. So this is the major note, and that's 2 frets lower, that's the sus 2, 1 fret higher is the sus 4. So fret 10, fret 9, fret 7, and back to fret 9. Same strumming. And then down to A, and do the same strumming as what you did, so start on the regular A. I might be tempted, once I'm like this, to kind of largely keep fingers 2, 3 and 4 and save that first finger, because we're actually up to D straight after that, so it sort of saves me having to reposition. It's just like a tram line, you're moving up and down. So when you go back to the A, regular A, sus 2, fret 3. Alright, tricky chords from this angle. So here's the A, so you can start like this, or you can start like this. You might actually find starting with fingers 2, 3 and 4 is easier for when you move up for a lot of these chords. So let's do that. It's fingers 2, 3, 4. A, open, fret 3, sus 4, back to regular A, B minor, 3, 4, step it back to fret 2, that's B sus 2, little finger up to 5, sus 4, back to regular B minor, fingers 2, 3, 4 on E, but we're actually starting on the E sus 4, and then tuck it back in, so that's fret 10, and then everything at fret 9, and then that's fret 7, and then back to fret 9 again, and then for the 4th chord, open, and then we have D for the next part, which is the same as the E, but we're actually starting on the regular D. So fret 7, fingers 2, 3, 4 again. We're dropping straight down to sus2, and then so that's fret 7, that's fret 5. Fret 8 is D sus4, back to D. Changes this time to E minor. Now this is probably the trickiest part because we're actually changing the melody. This is the one chord where we need to change the chord tones on the middle string. So what I'm actually doing, instead of just doing a regular fretting one string with this first finger, I'm actually covering 2 strings in anticipation for this little tune. So only do this if you feel like you've got some dexterity in your fingers, because you might find it a nightmare, to be honest. Cover 2 strings and then fret 9, fret 9. Now, doesn't seem any reason for doing that until you go, aha, the tune. Let's drop that down. It's got a bit of a funky sound to it. And then this goes up to fret 11, and then we go back to the fret 9. So that's your regular E minor, but do a bar and then cover these. That's fret 9, fret 8, fret 9, and then take that off, and then we're now barring fret 8 onto fret 11, and then back to the standard E minor shape. And then when we go down to the A at fret 2, we actually start on the sus4, so we start with a little finger on fret 3, tuck that in, open, and then go back to the D, but just don't start on the sus like this one, start on the regular D. You probably want to rewind this video a few times to get the sequence, but obviously check the chart as well, because it tells you where the susses are and all the rest of it. That's actually a minor major 7, that one. That's a minor add 9. So the second half of the verse, there's the D fret 7, fret 5, D sus2, fret 8, D sus4, back to D. Little bar here, a bit nasty this shape, fret 8, fret 9. Take that 3rd finger off, that is fret 8, that's what we can hear there. Fret 11, back again. So that's E minor major 7, bit of a funny one, E minor add 9. And then down to A, but start on the suspended, so fret 3, and then regular A, open, and then back to D, but start on the D, don't start on the suspended. Alright, so definitely need to practice that, probably in 2 halves, but when you've got it, you can already play the chorus that with the tune. That's like the full version, so I'm just going to run through with those lovely fancy bits once, and then you can take it away and get it learnt. So from the start of the verse, 4, 5, 6, A sus2, little finger, back to A, and then B minor, B sus2, little stretch back, fret 5, back to B minor, regular E, but start on sus4, then tuck it into E, sus2, back to E, and then back to A, but start on the regular A, don't do the sus4, open, finally sus, back to A. Second half goes to D, regular D, fret 5, sus2, fret 8, sus4. Here's the tricky bit, E minor little bar. Change the melody notes on the middle string, and then down to the A, but sus first, fret 3, fret 2, open, and then back up to D, just regular D, then sus 2, and then you're into the chorus after that. Okay, that's it. Have fun, whichever tuning you choose to use, and like I said, we will be back very soon with another Christmas special, so watch this space before the 25th, and I'll see you very soon here on Code of Tuition.